on this big burden.
You feel sorry for the players.
I feel sorry for the players on the team, yeah. You shouldn't have signed up with Toronto because you know what kind of burden that you have to carry?
They're a strong team. Oh, you're saying just the fact that we haven't won since 65.
Yeah, they said that's right. It's not these guys' fault that they haven't won until 65. You know what I'm saying? These guys are young guys just coming up. But unfortunately, they signed up with the Leafs and they got to carry the brunt of the pain. And they they booed him. Didn't they boot him off the ice?
Matthews? Or they booed the whole team off the ice last game?
Yeah, last game.
Last game they booed them off of the ice. Yikes. That's cold. That's too cold. And I think you guys are too fast to give up on them. I'm sorry.
Too fast? Are you crazy?
Yeah. I'm not new to this. Listen, I was born here, right?
So then you
I've
know
been a
what's
Leaf
going
fan
on.
my whole life.
So you know what's going on. You know what's going on. Don't act like you just started paying attention.
I'm invested. I was impressed. When you broke down that everybody, they actually have a really strong team, I watched. They do have a really strong team.
do.
Those guys are skilled. The shots that they get, they're not fluke shots.
But
They're real skilled shots.
Here's what the problem is. They can't play in the playoffs under pressure.
What's up with that? It's so bizarre.
It's so Toronto. DeMar DeRozan did the same thing. We had to trade him, and then we won. We had to decide.
Good to see him enthusiasm where you're at.
Right?
We've been there. Forget it, man.
This is the year. I still feel like this is the year.
Oh, man.
But yeah, let's watch the game with us on live.
The tailgating, all that stuff. That's nice. That's nice.
The tailgate
nice
was cool.
Yeah.
Was cool.
That's nice.
They're also giving away tickets. You can win a ticket, win your way inside.
They better. They better do something. They better do something, man, because trying to take the focus off of Austin Matthews hasn't scored.
Yeah, I didn't
top
realize he
goal
hasn't scored.
Isn't he the best goal scorer in the league?
Playoffs. I didn't realize that.
He's the best goal scorer in the league.
He's the captain, right?
He's the best scorer. Isn't he the best?
Marner, these guys gotta show up, bro.
Come on, guys.
Come
But we
on,
still
man.
have hope.
This is the biggest Leaf fan.
Thank you. We still have hope, right?
Yeah, I don't lose my faith, but I'm not overly confident.
Yeah, see, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good.
The first 7 minutes of this game is going to dictate what happens. If they Leafs survive and not get scored on twice,
In 7
it'll
minutes?
be a good game. If they cough up a goal in the first 5 minutes, they're screwed.
I think Florida's going to come out and kill these guys. I think Florida's looking for blood this time.
I feel like, skill-wise, I was surprised.
And they're in Florida too tonight?
Are they in Florida tonight? I don't know.
Yes, they are.
They're in Florida. And I just want them to win the Stanley Cup and get it over with so this city can just have their day. So
Come on.
win the next 2 games,
Thank
please.
you. Thank you. He knows voodoo.
Win 2
Get
games
some
straight.
voodoo going.
Maybe the non-believers need to start believing that. And then they will win. If the
That's
non-believers
right.
start believing.
That's where I'm at with it. That's exactly where I'm at with it.
You guys sound like 1990. That was 1990. I used to think like that. I know that.
One thing I do not want to hear is next year when it's Leaf time again and every single player is like, this is our year, boys, this is our year. And then it always ends up like this. So this year, just do it, guys. Get it done.
Come on. I feel like they're a strong team.
Well, they are, but
I've watched
prove
it.
it.
They're a strong team. I don't know what's going on. I missed the 6-year.
That or it's rigged.
Well, I did see people saying that they thought the goalie was being paid off. Just because the Leafs were getting all sorts of bad plays now.
Oh man, that's
Any
desperate.
excuses for you?
Who else is saying that? Is there any other country, any other team saying that?
Yeah, right?
Fake news.
The goalie's paid off.
Well, God bless
No,
them.
man, it's coming from the.
I mean,
It has to be. It's coming from the main office, behind the scenes. Blame those guys, man, because it's not like Toronto doesn't have money. Toronto can get players, but I don't understand how that stuff works.
Yeah, how did the Stolarz deal go?
I don't even know.
Because how do you get traded off as a winning team?
Don't know.
Right? He must have been heartbroken. So that's my Stolar's theory.
He was the backup goalie. He got a ring out of it.
He was backup goalie.
He was the backup goalie.
He wasn't the main
So
goalie.
the guy that's
His
the
size
goalie
is
right
perfect though. I feel like Wall is too. He's not big enough.
He's not it.
He was good, but he's not. He's physically not covering enough of the net. Like he goes this way.
I wouldn't want to come back now. I wouldn't want to come back now. Keep that other guy out there. I don't want you guys to blame me and tell me I lost the game.
I would come back now.
I wouldn't come
to
back.
help them win.
No way.
If
Too
he
much pressure.
cared.
And
I
the
feel like
fans already
he's loyal
booed them
to
off the
his
ice.
whole team.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what Panther's saying. So what is percussion protocol exactly?
Well, it depends on how severe the concussion was. It can be months before he's
Really?
physically allowed. They take it seriously with concussions.
Wow.
And he got hit pretty hard. He vomited on the bench.
I
He got-
saw. I know.
So-
but he was also, it looked like emotionally hurt. Because
Well,
it looked like they were targeting
It
him.
probably hurt.
Yeah. But he also looked like he wanted to cry. Just because like
Well,
they were
because he
picking on him.
probably
He felt like
couldn't
they were
see.
picking on him.
You got all that on the game.
Pardon me?
You got that all of that on the TV.
Yeah.
That he looked like he wanted
When
to
he
cry
first
because
when he
they were
first
picking
took
on
off
him.
his helmet, he was like,
Peter.
yeah! Yes! Yes! Didn't you watch it? When he was at the net and he first took off his mask, he was like, oh, guys, shucks darn it. Shucks darn it. He was hurt. His feelings were hurt. That's funny.
Yo, you see what he does to some of the players on the other team? You ever see him slap them up?
No.
Trip them? You never see what he did to that one guy?
No. But
Trust me, he's not in there crying.
Slamming people up.
Because as soon as you come close to him, he's going to chop you in your shins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a bit dirty.
I didn't know that. But that whole team is rough. The Panthers are rough. They're a rougher team.
I think hockey is rough.
Hockey is pretty rough.
Yeah. Maybe Toronto needs to be a little rougher. That might be.
I don't know, we go through this every year. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I know.
Huh?
Hope.
It's the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
But you said this is one of their better teams in a long
Yeah,
time.
that's what I thought. They proved me wrong.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh, I was looking for Ishmael. I went to the library. It's actually hard, the book. It's
Ishmael?
actually hard to find.
See?
But I tried to listen to an audiobook. It was just somebody on YouTube reading it himself. So he was doing like just, anyways, definitely want to get into it. Such
Really?
an amazing premise, yes, and that's why if you bought the physical book, I could have just borrowed it from your bookshelf. Now I gotta chase this thing down.
So wait, oh, you want it? You want it, eh?
Yes.
I'll order one for you. I'll order one.
You know,
Amazon.
tomorrow's my birthday.
Perfect. I love sharing knowledge. That way we can have conversations about it. Absolutely. Yep. You don't like Kindle, eh? You don't like the Kindle thing?
No. And I told you, I've got like a huge bookshelf.
Someone's very sweeping, eh?
I got
Well,
you.
just this picks it up better.
You're having to Tory.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And now they're saying that he shouldn't even be in there. Like we know he shouldn't be.
Yes. Yes. Kelsey's bodyguard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
She needs to go there for the same amount of time that he's been there.
Yeah, that's too much.
Did you hear?
Yes. And I heard that it happened like right after the bodyguard spoke up. Right? Like free him. And then his dad was saying just how he was like charming everybody in the hospital. This is a good guy.
How about what that guy was in jail for?
Who?
The guy that did that to him.
Oh yeah. I know. But
Like,
what's
and you're gonna
worse-
tell me that guy was in Gen Pop?
That part. But I heard that Megan Thee Stallion fans started a GoFundMe for him.
Oh my.
Two chance, right?
This is the way things are working in
I don't want, I
2025.
almost have to.
You-
But I gotta
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. Free him. Free him now, for sure, free him. And it's a miracle. You heard how many times? Head, back, chest, leg, mouth. So he's gonna have something on his face now.
He has enough money to get rid of it.
Yeah, I hope so.
If it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Trump got plane from the Saudis. Did you
Oh,
hear
I
that?
saw that. I saw
Yeah.
something about that, but I didn't. Anything to do with Trump, I just literally can't pay attention
Now it's
to.
like, I know.
So I saw something, but who cares?
He got a plane, $600 billion. It's like the
But
biggest
the
deal.
big, everybo's talking, what I've heard people say is, okay, what a stupid move for a president to take a plane like that, that could be bugged possibly,
This her.
all these things.
Is it legal?
It's not legal,
It's not legal.
right, to accept a gift of that.
You can't. You
yes.
can't accept gifts from
And the
other
fact
countries.
that it's given, like, it could be bugged,
Yeah, and it's supposed to be the official plane.
right. So he should not be accepting it. But it's Trump. Who cares? Trump's a loser.
Nope.
Oh, I said that on.
Nancy, you can't accept luxury gifts from other.
I have no idea. I have no idea how that goes.
Right? I thought it was fun. I thought it was stupid, but I thought it was legal.
I have no idea, Lisa. I don't know what he is and what he's not allowed to do. I don't know nothing.
Oh,
Biggest deal in history, $1.2 trillion.
what? What's he doing with the Saudis?
Okay.
What kind of deal?
So they gave him money for, he's over there, like just, he said showing them love because they were in need of love. They haven't been loved in a long time. They're saying that stuff. But making deals, kissing up, making deals.
Yeah,
He
of
said
course.
he shook so many hands. He left with $1.2 trillion. They gave him a new plane that people are saying he shouldn't have. 'Cause now
They
he's
bought
got-
him a new plane?
Yeah.
Yes, but it's against the Constitution.
Is it?
Yes.
But
What's-
they make Bombardier.
It's written in the Constitution that he's not allowed to accept it.
Is it the price point? He
No.
can't accept any gifts
Give it
from
to my
any
son.
foreign
Maybe give it
country.
to his son though. Give it to my kid.
Accept it based on the Constitution.
Thank you. Exactly.
Those are the benefits of being the president, eh?
Rules.
Yeah, no, he's breaking rules. He doesn't even care. Especially if they benefit him. Oh, forget about it. Then it's not a rule.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's making it Air Force One. But you're saying they make bombardiers, Panther?
I think so.
Okay.
What you were looking for earlier?
Well, that's good.
It's
Don't
okay,
make
but
the
when
moves,
I
eh?
looked at definitely, but when I looked at what he's using the money for, because they want to invest $600 billion in America. But
Yeah.
it's not going towards anything that's really going to help working class or poor people.
They never do though.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
So
they
it's like
never do.
military. Military is really the only benefit for poor people
Right.
because they're going to be recruiting harder than ever. But so they want to increase military. They want to. Oh, what were they saying? I thought I wrote it down. Hold on.
That doesn't surprise me.
It sucks. Because that money could go to all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely.
Let's get some health care. It's
Let's cut-
2025. And they're cutting Medicaid in 2025. Instead of
Yeah,
getting
but-
free health care. It's like insane. It's insane in America.
Listen, the fact that they still fight wars
Yeah.
is so primitive and
Thank you.
old. Like, why are we
Thank
still
you.
doing that?
Thank you.
We could actually talk this stuff over now.
Honestly.
Talk it out.
Like China.
Yeah, right. Like, why are we still fighting wars? That alone is just shows you that
I agree.
they don't want change. You know what I'm saying? They love things the way they are. Right?
Yeah.
We're still rolling in tanks and
I know.
Loading
Blowing up
guns?
lives, blowing up innocent people.
yeah, like what are
Prove
we?
nothing.
What are
It's
you
never
doing?
actually solved
It doesn't work.
It
Exactly.
doesn't, it doesn't actually
So
work.
why do we keep doing that? It doesn't make no sense, man.
Yeah, I know. And especially to like
It's 2025.
heighten your investment in it for what?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You're putting money into
When
that.
America actually needs improved infrastructure. They've fallen behind.
Thank you.
New York City is so old. Not that you can't appreciate
Right. Right.
the charm of it,
Right.
but give me a break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Compared
At
to
some
China?
point. Right. Right.
China shouldn't be 30
Right.
years ahead of us.
Right.
Everybody.
Right. 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 What are we doing wrong over here?
Investing in all the wrong
Investing in
things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Spending the money. Stupid. Got all that money. Now we just got how many trillions? We're talking. That's gonna go to war. New tanks.
Yeah. Bombs. They're still coming up with
Some new
creative ways
bombs.
to kill people. They're
Right,
coming up
more
with new
tanks.
bombs.
Right.
Ones that burn your skin first.
Like,
Like, yeah, it's scary. Scary stuff.
what are we doing, man? Huh?
Okay, so this 75% of luxury brands are purchased by poor and working class people.
Of course.
No.
Of course.
No.
Rich people don't spend their money on that.
Okay, come on.
Who are they trying to impress?
75% of luxury brands is purchased by working class and poor people.
Don't forget that,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot him a text.
yeah.
Piece of what?
Of course, he's.
You know that pisses me off so much, but yeah, you're right.
Of course, poor rich people don't buy Louis Vuitton.
You don't have to show your wealth.
You already have it.
Prove your wealth through
Already
your
have
clothes.
it.
Yeah.
You know what they're wearing? Gap. Old Navy.
Yeah, just whatever.
Yeah, just as long
Whatever's practical.
just as long as it fits.
Yeah.
They don't
And
care
it's
about that
clean,
stuff.
Clean and fresh.
They don't care about that stuff. That's our problem. We've created that.
That's bullshit. 75% of luxury brands are purchased by poor and middle class people.
100%. I try to explain that to my son. He can't grasp the idea that, what? What do you mean, Dad? Yeah, the rich people don't buy that stuff. They give it to them so other people see them with it and want to purchase it.
That's the worst part. Yes,
That's
they
the-
give
that's
it to
the-
them so
yeah.
other people see them in it.
Right. They would never spend that on a bag.
Why would you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why? You have nothing to prove. You're rich.
That part. So that's
It's a trick.
That's the
It's all-
saddest trick. That's the saddest to keep you poor. Because understand the stuff is very expensive, and especially in countries like the States where credit cards, everybody's got 14 credit cards. I don't know how.
Right.
Everybody's
I
got
know.
14
Me neither.
credit cards.
Right.
It's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
What? No, I try to explain this to my son. Like, the things that you think is happening is not actually happening. Everything is it's smoke and mirrors. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They trick us.
Yeah.
No, you trick yourself.
That's marketing.
Nobody can trick you.
That's marketing. Well, not me.
Nobody can
personally,
trick anybody.
But people do get tricked.
People trick themselves.
Okay. We're talking about brands. Like
75%
all the
of
expensive
luxury
brands.
Yeah.
Rich people don't buy that stuff.
No, 75% or more are bought by
I
poor,
just said
poor
it.
to middle class.
Yeah.
And I grew up in
Look
Forest
at
Hill.
it.
Know who wore them? The nouveau riches that look
Yeah.
like made it.
Yeah.
Okay? My father was very wealthy, wore none of that stuff. Nothing
Warren Buffett
fancy.
too. If you saw Warren Buffett's house,
Yeah, he's
Simple.
modest.
Okay,
Exactly.
but I add,
honest, simple
Yeah.
little
The man doesn't.
middle class
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Right.
Neat lawn.
Right.
Yeah, but
Doesn't have 20 cars. You don't need 20 cars.
no, but I had all that massive amount of that stuff. It didn't change the quality of my life. It changed like a bunch of psychopaths sucking my D, basically. Saying, you're the best, you're the best. I'll do anything for you, I'll die for you. Do you want it? Like everything.
Okay.
As soon as I didn't have
Love
money,
it.
they
Perfect.
forgot my name.
It's time, guys. The Diddy Trial guys.
You get 600
Diddy
million.
Trial
Guys,
going on?
Diddy Trial
Are you
guys.
watching it?
Yes.
Are you okay?
So you can't watch.
Are you okay though with the gruesome? Because I heard it's
The
pretty
details
gruesome.
have been severe.
Yeah.
The details have been severe. Cassie
Holy.
got sores in her mouth. She was doing oral sex so often.
Oh.
But what it isn't, what it is not, is sex trafficking and racketeering. I'm sorry, guys.
It's not trafficking and
Haven't proved
racketeering.
it.
Excuse me,
No,
excuse me.
no, no,
You,
no, no,
excuse
no.
me, I don't want to be
It
rude.
is-
Excuse me, I don't want to be rude or tell you you're lying or ignorant or something. Tell me what those things mean before you say they're not that.
Thank
You don't even have a clue.
Let's read. Oh, I do. Let's read the definition. So far,
But that's like, but because it's puffy, that's why they're saying it's trafficking.
By definition, it's trafficking. If it's for criminal enterprises,
Okay.
the
If I'm
only
inviting
question.
a girl, if I'm
sex trafficking is a
puffy
criminal
enough.
offense involving the exploitation of individuals through force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of engaging them in commercial sex.
Forced
It
or
wasn't
coerced.
commercial.
definition from?
It wasn't commercial, and
It wasn't commercial.
forced.
No.
They were buying the prostitutes.
Right, exactly. They're paying them to come.
They were paying the
Right,
prostitutes.
right.
He wasn't prostituting people. He
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
selling anybody.
I didn't
He
understand. We
was
were talking. I thought
purchasing.
it was my mistake. I thought we were talking about law, not political and emotional stuff. You're talking about the emotional and the literal definition. You're not talking
Okay,
about law.
What's
He's in
the
a
law
court.
definition of it?
Well, tell me, because you're saying he didn't do it. You just said he didn't do
The
it.
cha-
It's
but the
big.
charges-
Tell it to me.
The charges are far-fetched.
No, they're very
The charges
specific.
are reaching. They are far-fetched.
Right.
Bad stuff happens.
But but understand,
Very bad
America
stuff.
does that though. American
Yes.
system does that.
Yes.
No.
They'll put a
this
whole
is-
bunch of stuff on you,
Yes,
and
that's
then
what's happening.
just for so
Hoping
something will
something
stick.
sticks.
Right.
No,
they're probably not going to charge for racketeering.
There's a set of rules.
Which is so
Puffy
funny
thought he
because
didn't have
he's
to
the one
play
talking
by them.
about emotional. He's the one that's being overly emotional.
No, I'm just because you don't listen to reality. Unless I show emotion, you'll just sit there like blah 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 blah. That's all you're doing, literally.
Reality.
Okay.
So they've got Cassie admitting that she went back to Puff over and over
Yeah.
again. She left the relationship, she went back. He blew up Kid Cudi's car, she went back. She got with her now husband, she went back. The last thing they texted each other, after he raped her, I can't wait to do freak offs forever. He was like, let's do it one last time. She said, I want to do it like it's the first time. I never wanted to
She
end.
said that?
Yes. So no.
Why would
No.
she say that?
Exactly. Nobody understands. Why did she say it? Why did she go back? My theory. My theory, Pete. Fame. Well, it's Puffy. He's a billionaire. You're doing stuff
That's
with this
gonna help
guy
your
that you
career.
never. The entire time in her text, I wish I was the only one, because he was using the freak offs as a way for. She couldn't see him unless it was freak off time. She couldn't see him unless she was
Right,
baiting him with
right.
some freak offs, which is very different from how we saw the relationship.
Yeah.
But no, that's what it was. She wanted to be the only one. He had all these other girls. She admitted, I was worried if I didn't do it, he'd do it with somebody else. That's
Of
not
course,
sex
naturally you would.
trafficking.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
calculation. That's
Right.
calculated. That's a choice, a bad choice.
Right.
At the time, it probably seemed like, and this is the truth. What are you willing to sacrifice for $1 billion?
That's the question right
Maybe
there.
yourself.
Right. Some people are.
Maybe
Some
yourself.
people will.
That was the test.
Some people will sacrifice themselves. Wow.
Yeah. So I feel like, people say, trying to take the black man down, I swear to God, Pete. It doesn't make sense that after all we heard today, and for the past 4 days, that he didn't get bail. That he didn't get no $50 million bail. None of it adds up.
Right,
Unless they're deliberately trying to take him out.
Right.
He's not charged with anything
Right.
that big.
True.
And remember when we thought Cassie wasn't even going to be a part of this? Because he paid her.
Yeah, exactly. He gave her a bunch of money.
Yeah. I thought to be quiet.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that was hush money. And isn't there a contract that you can sign? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know.
Right? How is don't prosecute against me not in there? How did he not have that line in there?
Right.
That's bizarre.
Right. But Stu was saying no, it's because it was a criminal act. You can't.
I don't know what Stu's saying. Where is Stu?
He went outside. He's mad that you're not listening.
I'm listening. But he's saying, he refuses to answer, because I've already read the legal definition.
Right.
The person has to be coerced, forced, and sold. He hasn't sold anything, he didn't force or coerce.
Right.
Maybe he was being an asshole and guilted and made you feel like, yeah, well, then you can't see me. I'll just call Gina then.
What a life. Now you gotta.
Get in here.
Now you gotta pay.
You have to actually go for a walk.
All
right. So tell us the difference between.
No, you're cool enough.
Tell us, explain the legal definition of
Okay,
sex trafficking.
I'm a Canadian
and
lawyer, and
why-
I looked at it very early. So forget about the sex trafficking. Under the Mann Act, if you bring someone interstate for sexual services, a prostitute, you're guilty under the Mann Act. Boom, I think the minimum is 10 to 25 years. He's dead on that one. He's how old is he?
So, because he did buy prostitutes.
Yeah,
And
for
he-
interstate
and-
trafficking.
and-
So even
and-
with the other stuff, and the violence and stuff.
But to come
He's
party
not being charged
though.
with violence.
He's bringing the.
He's not being charged with
I know, but
domestic
you asked me legal stuff.
The prostitutes are for the party.
Yeah, that's
What'd you
illegal.
say?
It's illegal.
That's illegal. Game over.
Because they're coming from other states. If he got prostitutes that were in New York,
That's right.
it would have been okay.
And because he misled some of them, for example, that dude who came to just dance only and ended up having sex, that's
Yeah.
coercion.
But that dude ended up being a partner and not even getting paid in the future. He just wanted to be around them.
I know
I've
that
been
doesn't
following this
matter. It
person.
doesn't matter.
That matters. For me to go from
That shows it's honest. The fact that he's admitting to the truth shows he's honest. The first time
The fact that
he
he
was
said,
lied
"Stop
to.
dating
No,
me."
no. Listen, the first time he was lied to, right? He was coerced the first time. He told him to dance, and then he's pressured and given drugs and has sex. That's voluntary, but he was coerced. He was pressured. He was encouraged to do it while being an interstate prostitute.
Okay.
That is the convince. That
how
is the offense.
is
It's
the jury
over.
going to see it if the guy says, I kept going and hanging around them, I
Doesn't-
didn't even have to pay me?
The future
because
doesn't
this and
matter.
that.
Okay, I just
You
murdered.
must be able to.
Okay,
the
no,
jury's
okay.
going to see that differently if,
No, they
if I
won't.
show that you guys became friends.
Okay, so I have you over my house, I stab you, beat you, and rape you, and then we become friends, so I'm no longer guilty? How ridiculous and absurd and ignorant is that? That's what you're saying.
No, it's completely different.
No,
You're
it's
saying-
not.
You're saying he was misled
It's
to
not.
dance. He chose to have sex instead of dance. It's not being stabbed, and he chose to continue having a relationship with
Was
her.
he?
He wasn't coerced.
Okay, stop. Was he brought here under false pretenses? If you're brought for the purpose of sex under false pretenses,
To the kid there. Kid there.
you're guilty. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
shit in
it's
the past,
karma. It's
his
karma.
karma's coming to bite his
Yeah.
ass. And there's a thing, I remember my grandmother used to tell me this. She goes,
And remember for Shine
He's-
too.
and
he
he's
got away with
right.
shooting those
It's
little
karma.
Exactly.
Shine.
So-
karma.
Yeah.
him go,
You can't feel. I don't feel sorry.
I don't
for
feel
him.
sorry for him.
No.
And he does need to do time.
Right. Yeah.
Not for that, though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff that he's being charged for.
Right,
Not
right.
for that.
Yeah.
Right.
And sticking him in jail for the rest of his life? Nah,
No.
sorry.
Thank
No.
you.
And also trying to take his wealth that he created with his own
Thank
two
you.
hands.
Because I'm hearing that
no,
they want us to do that. They
because
want to
that's
take
what they're
his-
trying
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
They want to take his money from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how much his case is gonna cost Puff? Almost
Nine lawyers.
$100 million.
How much?
bro.
9 lawyers? What? How much?
Yo,
Yeah, he's
this
got a
case
9
is
lawyer
gonna
team.
cost him alone almost $100 million. Almost 100 mil. The lawyers that he has on his fucking case start at $3,000 an hour.
Yeah.
$3,000 a day.
Hour. I said
Excuse
hour.
me. Oh, an hour?
Okay? So, based on the law, from what my interpretation is, from what I could see and heard, and apparently these court reporters are being very good dictators of what the words are being
Yeah,
transcribed.
yeah, I'm watching
the
it.
words
Yeah.
transcribed. And the case, up to now, because
I haven't-
more
yeah.
evidence could come
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
so I'm reserving my
exactly.
judgment.
Exactly.
Up
As
to
of
now,
yes.
Puff is not guilty of any of the charges that he's
Thank
that
you
he's been
so
charged
much.
with.
That is also
Now,
my position,
he will
sir.
be found guilty of sleeping with prostitutes.
That's what I think
That's
they're going to
fine.
go for. Yeah.
But to me, that's more of a moral thing. And there's a patchwork of laws around the world where some places is legal,
That's
some
it.
places is
In
not.
the States, some places.
You know what I
it's
mean? Like there's
legal.
no consistency in America with
Yeah.
the laws from state to state.
Yeah.
From what I heard so far,
No.
he's guilty of basically having orgies and flying prostitutes across state lines.
We
So-
haven't even heard about the state lines yet, is the thing.
Well, yeah, because the reason why they're saying the one stripper that
Okay.
testified,
Yeah.
he lives in Vegas and he flown from
okay.
Vegas to New York.
Okay.
So that is flying a prostitute across state line. Fine, you're guilty for that. That's not life in prison.
I wonder how much time you get for that.
5-6 years, I think maybe.
That's even bullshit.
5-6
bullshit.
years.
If
No,
somebody
but-
is selling
no,
their body-
but there's a good reason for the law is because it's to protect children too. Also, you don't want to have
I'm not saying get rid of the law.
you don't want to have mob, people abducting children and putting them to child sex, becoming
For
sex
sure.
slavery, and transporting them around the world, which happens. That's why you have laws like that. I get it, but he's an adult. She was an adult, and she willfully said, she literally repeated that
I love having free coffee.
I liked it. I actually used to initiate it. I would pay out of my pocket. There's no part where she said Puffy was giving her the money.
That's a fact.
Okay, she said she paid $4,000.
That's a fact.
When she asked the man how much is his rate was like $1,200. She said we're gonna give you $4,000
Okay.
because there's gonna be extra stuff involved.
Yeah.
The guy said when he went into the freaking hotel room, he seen Puff in the corner with a blindfold on, like a cuck.
Yeah.
And he fucks the shit out of freaking Cassie, and Puff doesn't do nothing. He's watching.
He also said that he'd seen them afterwards and they didn't have to pay him.
The other key thing too,
Because he wanted to
yeah,
be friends
because
with
he's
them.
been doing it for years with them.
He wanted to be
Right,
friends with
there's
them.
regulars.
He liked their status.
Yo, and he wants to be, he liked the lifestyle. It's like, bro, I'm getting paid for doing it.
Let's get into Cassie, because I think that's the part that nobody's being real about.
Now, this is the part we got to be real. Now, Puff is wrong for beating the shit out of her in the video.
Yes.
Period. Okay? They've obviously had a toxic relationship where there were physical violence,
Yeah,
against
the
each
bodyguard
other.
said that she would fight him too.
Okay.
Yes.
It reminds me of a movie called Sid and Nancy, where the couple had a drug-fueled relationship. Okay, that's what really they had. They had a drug-fueled, toxic, kinky relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Days prior to the video of Puff beating her in the hotel, the reason how they even got to the hotel was Cassie's idea to have a freak off. In the taxes, he's saying, "Nah, I really don't. I'm not down for it."
Really?
He's actually saying in the Texas, you need to get help because you're going overboard. Puff put himself in rehab.
Yeah.
And encouraged her to go to rehab and asked her family to help him encourage her to go to rehab. So,
yeah.
and she
Railroad.
also said that she's a very jealous and possessive woman. She said this out of her own mouth.
She knew that if she didn't do it, other women would.
If she didn't do it, other women would.
Yeah.
There has to be a time where people have choice.
She always had a choice.
And
10
she's always had a
years?
choice.
How many days is that?
Yo, there's an incident where, now, this part here, I can see why a guy would be mad. So Puff is trying to help her in her career, right? Okay. People will say, well, yeah, he's using his position of power to control her. But she also wanted the music career, okay?
I feel like that's
Puff gets her to work with high-end producers, i.e.
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
Okay?
She links up.
Kid Cudi and her are working together on Puff's dime in the studio, and Kid Cudi is fucking his girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Show me where she couldn't leave.
Show
me where she couldn't leave.
Show me where she couldn't leave in that situation, and show me where any man, sane man, would accept that and not want to beat the shit out of Kid Cudi.
Or blow up his car.
That's
when
a little extra.
When he's not in it.
That's a little extra. But if it was me, I'm gonna want to put hands on Kid Cudi, straight up. You know, Puff turned down a plea deal, right?
Flipping better. What deal could they give him?
Right. So I want to know.
Based on what they've got. No, I'm gonna
they're not
write it all the
announcing
way.
what the plea deal was.
Regardless of what the plea deal is, the plea deal is going to come with them knowing that they don't have enough to say that they're going to go for what they're going
Exactly.
for. So if there's a
Let's
plea
plea
deal
out
involved,
for this.
Fuck that. I'll
That's
just
why
beat
he
it
said
all up
fuck
and
up.
then-
And
and
see,
then-
that's my point.
Because
they don't
do
got
things
nothing.
as straight as they try and make it seem like they do things.
Yeah.
They're cutting corners and
Yeah.
doing all kinds of shit. So where you cut one corner, fuck that plea deal. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because everything is going to get dashed with.
That's why they want to plead, because they're cutting corners trying to fucking.
They are. I felt like, what do they even have here? This is like ridiculous.
They're charging
and
them
then
wrong.
back to the fact that this man should be fighting this from home. There's no reason why he couldn't have fought this from home.
They're charging him wrong.
I'm just gonna do it before now. It's a little video. And then we'll get the after. Cool. That's the best. Those are like my favorite TikToks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the before and after barber. It's like, that's what those.
Oh, you missed, well, it was wow. I cut a bunch off.
That's what
A lot of
I
it,
hate.
yeah.
Everything like later.
Everything, you cut everything
I
off.
hate that.
Because when I went there to see the car,
How long have you guys been together for? How long have you been married?
How long you guys been together?
Married for?
Well, August is 1 year.
1 year? How long have you known her?
About like a year. 8 months to a year. Yeah. You know they say when you know, right? Yeah. When you know that's your wife, you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
When you know, you know. If you don't mind
Exactly.
getting that on camera, I love that. Cool.
I believe
So how
that.
did you know? How soon did you
truly believe that. I
propose?
truly believe that.
Yeah, cause like you know, my grandfather used to say like within the first 30 days,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I
You
feel like
know?
the first time you meet, you feel.
You get, you know.
You really felt something.
It was more so like in my spirit, you know what I mean? I'm a God-fearing man, so like in my spirit, I believe like that was the person, you know, and I pursued her intentionally, you know?
Yeah.
No games, none of that, you know? Because
she's
you know every guy has
beautiful,
their
like, she
days, you
has,
know,
like,
they
a
play
beautiful
around, they move around, but
Yeah.
she really motivated me and pushed me to be a better person, you know?
I love that.
So it's like, I had to get it right.
I love that.
She made me mature really, really quickly,
Wow.
so, you know? And she's always wanted me to be a better version of myself.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, appreciate
Yeah,
that.
that's so important to find someone that feels
That's
you
not
like
easy.
that.
Exactly.
That's like a blessing.
That's not easy to find.
And it's rare to find, exactly,
It's
you
so
know?
rare.
Exactly.
But if it can happen for him, it can happen for everyone,
But
right?
yeah.
Right?
But where? Where?
Right?
Exactly. Like where? There's so many places to look.
Were you looking, or it just happened?
You know, to be honest, I didn't know how we were friends on Facebook, but I saw on Facebook, and it was just something in my spirit that I knew, like, she's the person that's gonna be the one that's gonna want to spend the rest of their life with you, right?
Wow.
So I was like, I gotta see what's going on.
Yeah.
So you know, I tapped in, I sent a message to her, and the rest was history. And I didn't send a message where like I was trying to like spit game, but I was more authentically myself.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I think you're really beautiful.
Wow.
And the rest is history. And within 8 months we got married. You know, so it's obviously a journey.
Yeah.
Like it's not perfect, but once you're willing to communicate, be honest, be transparent, I think that anything's possible. And once you put God in the center of your relationship, you can't go wrong. You know? If you try to do any other way, you'll mess up. Because God's the only person that can really transform your heart if you want to make a change. You know, so it's been good. I can't complain. But she's never seen me with my hair cut off.
This is special.
So when she sees this, she might have a heart attack, but it's all good.
I love this.
Exactly.
You guys see that the new Pope is American?
Foolishness.
Matter? Does it matter?
They're telling us that it matters. Like, I wouldn't even have cared. I wouldn't have. I wasn't even thinking about it. But they brought it up as, oh, he's American. Like,
Yeah. Does
do
it
we
matter?
really care? No. I don't think I've ever cared. What does that even mean?
Well,
What
he's
does that
the
mean?
first American.
Yeah.
I guess usually it's a European. Does it feel like less official because he's like American?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's,
Some kind of tradition that they have going.
it's interesting, the tradition.
Yeah.
We even spoke about the tradition of how they bury the Pope.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
They put you in like 3 different coffins made of different material. It's like really serious. Yeah. They burn your ring, like melt down your ring.
What is that going to do? What's that supposed to do?
There's just a lot of tradition behind it.
Yep. Doesn't do anything. It's all going to the same place.
The 3 coffins skin. That's a lot. The 3 coffins skin. Even though this Pope opted out of that one. Okay, Panther? New Pope is American?
No, I don't know about nothing about that. Fine for the Pope.
Whoa!
I don't know about nothing about that.
Why do people say that? Some people say that.
I
I know my grandmother thinks that.
I don't pay attention to what's going on in the Vatican. It's not for me. It's not my business.
So let me just get you, sorry. He wasn't in the top 5, so how did this all come about?
I think that it has a lot to do with American politics right now.
Right?
And if you haven't watched Conclave, watch that movie because it's literally what's happening in our life right now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that they predicted that shit. And then they justify it about all his work he did in Peru. He's still American. That's it.
Thank you.
And never American Pope ever in our
I
life.
know, that's what I'm saying.
Alright guys, have a good night, have a good weekend.
Happy long weekend.
Plays in here, they lose, okay?
No, not with
Game's
me
not
here.
playing in here.
I'm here now.
No, sorry.
Really? Every time
go
I
to the
play
bar.
here, they lose.
Go to the bar. The bar, the Green Dragon, they have it on.
Okay.
We're not playing that shit.
If it's bad for them, yes. If you're what? Oh, I don't know.
We ain't playing it, so. Every time we play it, they lose, okay?
That's a big difference. So I'll check before I decide on it. At 200, I'll book it tonight. 300, I'll book tomorrow. At 1,000, I'll book it 5 years from now when I'm rich.
Patrick, you said the shop is cursed and the Leafs lose every time you guys watch the game.
No, the shop's
A Leaf curse.
We say the shop is cursed.
Yeah, no, the Leafs.
You said it's a Leaf curse.
Yeah.
The shop is cursed. I said we're not watching the game in here.
We're
Yeah,
not watching
no,
the
we're not
game because we're watching it is bad for the Leafs. The shop's
Yeah.
blessed. The shop is blessed.
No. Remember, the Leafs were bad before the shop.
Exactly.
Let's not get everything mixed up.
Take that energy outside,
Yeah.
Lisa.
No, I don't have no bad energy about the shop. This is the best place in the world. I'm just saying, I can't believe we can't watch the game. I want to give them positive energy.
Well, you can. The game's on all over the place. The game's on in the bar right there.
Want to go to the bar and watch the game?
Not really, but yeah, I might have to catch. I just want to see it. I gotta give
I don't
them
know about that
positive
atmosphere,
energy.
man. That's a sad atmosphere, eh? A lot of sad faces, eh?
What?
Drinking beer and
Unless they win.
that's not a good atmosphere. You want to be somewhere where there's cheering and yeah.
They're gonna be cheering. The Leafs are gonna be winning.
I don't think so. It's gonna be an early night.
That's the worst environment to be around these fans. For real? Win or lose, that's the worst environment to be around.
I don't want to be around the Leafs fans in a bar too. In a bar?
Were you with me when a big brawl happened at there was a place called Shoeless Joe's in the West End? No. So there was 3 things were going on that night. I think the Tyson fight when he got out of jail. Remember the first fight when he got out of jail?
Yeah, when you fought that Mike.
The white guy?
Yeah.
That same night there was a Leafs game and a Raptors game.
Okay.
At Shoeless Joe's, 3/4 of the place were all white people. And then the 1/4 was all black people. So they're like, yo, can we watch the basketball? Can we watch the basketball and the Mike Tyson fight? They're like, no, we're all watching hockey. They're like, this is a sports bar. So you can see the divide in the room, right? Yo, the guy, remember those watches back in the day? The first digital watches that you could control, remote control a TV with? Remember those watches?
Yeah.
That they had buttons on it?
Yeah.
Remember the black
Calculator
square?
watch?
No, but it was around the time when those watches, but this one
See, it's like a
had a
remote.
secret feature
Oh,
where
you
you
never
could
seen
change channels on TVs.
What?
So one of the guys had that, and he went and changed the channels on the TV.
don't do
All of them to the fucking Tyson game and the basketball thing around.
You're asking for jokes.
Bro, next thing you know, as soon as you see the white boys flinging bottles, bro. Big melee brawl out. The Chula shows used to be down by Spadina and where my apartment is. Around the corner from where my apartment. Remember that place where you take the elevator up? It was around the corner from there. Big bottles flicking everywhere.
I gotta get this.
Why is she on
This is gold.
Okay.
This is gold.
The
Oh,
last-
your grandfather said.
Before I got married, the last few women that pursued me, trouble.
True.
My grandfather used to say
Pure
that
problem.
men pursue women
Right.
because it's our nature,
Right.
right? But if a woman's pursuing you, nine times out of 10, you need to do your background. You need to do your background
Yeah.
check. But yeah, I just think here's what you have to tell
I
you.
agree.
He needs to go outside more. The apps AI thing is a little bit weird. He has to go outside more.
Yes.
That's just my perspective.
Yeah.
But if you want to pass that along, then
Yeah. Oh, I said that to him. I said that to him.
Because
The one that I'm actually serious about right now, I met her in person.
Because you know why?
But the rest of them,
But
He's not using
he's
it
got
as
ones
a
that are in-
tool.
I met my wife on Facebook, but we met in person after. And I told her after the 3rd date, I'm not gonna go on another date until I meet your folks.
right.
That's how serious I was, right?
Oh, okay, so you knew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They got married within
We
8
know.
months.
Yeah, we know.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
That's good. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you know, we don't play around.
Oh yeah.
Come
My
on.
grandfather said that once you know, you know. You don't fumble the bag. You don't fumble the ball. So
Yeah.
True.
I knew that. Because it's like you said, it's rare nowadays to find somebody that's like.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we share the same faith, the same beliefs.
Okay.
It's easier that way too, right?
Right.
So
Well,
like,
also, you know what? Too, I will say.
yeah.
How long have you been with your wife?
I've been married for August will be a year.
So you just met on Facebook?
I met her before we know each other for like almost a year.
Okay. I will say,
Yeah.
The Facebook algorithm
Yeah.
is more natural than the other algorithms on the other apps.
Yeah, you're right. Because I've been on
Because the way
Facebook
their
since
algorithm
2003.
is, they really want to match you. Like they really, it's a real matching. As opposed to you just pull up
Instagram
the
and TikTok and Snapchat. Yeah.
Or like, what are the dating apps? What are the dating apps, Nissa?
Tinder.
Those are geared.
Bumble.
It's a dating app.
Exactly.
But it's taking the word date and because dating means a lot these days. We're just dating. So that means you're fucking. You're just fucking. Just say that, right? So, whereas the Facebook one is more geared to finding love and you know.
Connected.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know a lot about the person once you see their profile.
Exactly.
You're getting to see their whole business.
How they're chilling, how they're hanging, all that.
Right.
Facts. So I guess I got lucky. I got
more background on Facebook.
the person,
Because you go to their profile and really watch upon them, you know what I mean? And
you're ready. Yeah. I just as a young kid say, you shoot your shot. So that's what I did.
That's it.
I shot my shot.
You shot your shot.
But here's the crazy thing. 3 days before that, like I had a dream, and I was at like a conference, and there was a woman beside me. Like I couldn't see her face, but it was like a silhouette. But she was like of a fair complexion, like. And 3 days after, when I went to Facebook and I was like scrolling through and I saw her profile, I was like, yo, this has to be it. I felt like God was giving me like a confirmation, like a sign. And then I made the move and like the rest is history.
And it worked out perfect.
It's crazy.
Is it an art?
No, okay,
Bro,
it's
I've
an
been
art.
saying this from time. Yo, watch it.
It's an art in a
Yo,
sense
there's
of like,
a skill.
you have to know how to maneuver.
Right, and how to
Tell them what you
talk.
want to hear, kind of.
No,
Not really
it's
that.
it's not that.
It's like
how you talk,
present yourself and how you speak.
how you type the words
Okay.
in the exchange.
Exactly. You have to be eloquent.
There's a skill level to it, right?
Right,
My
right.
skill is in front of your face.
Yeah.
My swag is there.
Because you can write whatever you want online, but in person,
I
you're
can never translate this. We'll say the swag from real world to online swag.
Exactly.
It's weird for me to try to chat to yell online. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, baby, you look fine.
I like this guy.
Type that shit out. It's like, and also with the typing, things can get misconstrued.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have to know how to type.
Right.
I'm old school, so I know how to type.
Also women have these layers of rules and laws that how you type.
And certain boundaries you can't cross with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas you might be joking.
Yeah.
But they're like,
They might think,
right.
See, yo, he knows the time
Trust
of
me,
it.
so I don't.
I think you can give up with your nephew.
No, but I don't have the skill to do it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do, but
I never tried.
I don't do that anymore.
We'll say
I'm
I
married now.
I never tried. We'll say
Yeah.
I never tried.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, there's two men I know on the face of this planet.
My name.
Wait, but here's a good thing. If you're good at
sorry, I never retracted. Yes. Edit. Pause. Whatever.
You have to be good at English.
That gets beeped out.
And you have to be good at English and know how to form your sentences.
That's all it is.
Because with
Simple as that.
women fall in love with what they hear.
And
Right.
So if you're able to spit a good game and back it up, it's even better because they're about the action.
Right. So I can't type that. I can't type that game. I can talk that game.
You can talk it.
Once they're in front of me, it's alright.
Okay, but if you can talk it, you can type it.
Some people have
Because I can talk it, I can type it.
There's a skill.
You see, now you. Alright.
No, trust me. I've been saying this for years.
Okay.
Okay. And I've been having my own science experiment, watching the wild.
Yeah.
You know how they interact online and shit. You know what I mean? And yes, it's a common thing to date online and pick up people online or whatever.
Okay.
But
You're thinking, you gotta talk
but
to
there are certain men.
Greg.
Hold on.
Not me.
No, he's the evidence. You're the evidence. So you cannot say I'm wrong. Okay?
Yeah. No, I agree with 90% of what you're saying.
Okay.
I agree with 90%.
On how you crack that ice.
Okay.
On how say you swipe it or whatever, right? Or on Facebook or whatever. You're like, okay. You gotta now interact with the profile, right? So far, it's not a human being, it's just a profile.
Okay.
So you gotta break the ice. So you're gonna send a message.
But do you want to know how you break the ice?
Tell me. Everybody wants to know how to break the
Tell me
ice.
after. So we're gonna add to that. Now you're gonna give us the skill level, right? Watch this.
Yeah.
Girls get fucking DMs like on the regular, right?
Yeah.
True? Yes. They could be short, tall, skinny, white, black, Chinese, fat, busted, whatever.
Yeah.
Men them are in their DMs. Right? So
Okay.
that DM that I'm gonna send has to separate from all the dick pics and all the other shit that they're getting in their freaking DM. Right?
But here's
So that is where you come in. And
But here's the thing, okay, this is what a lot of men fail to understand. If you really want to get to know a woman and understand her, you have to make the conversation about her.
I don't get a plus percentage.
So-
I don't get a penny. It's
so-
always paid back.
We know that.
Okay.
We know that. Okay? We see gal on the road. Hey, we started, hey, how you doing? What you day doing? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Translate that now online. Because you're breaking the ice.
Okay, yeah.
So
if it was me, right, and I'm meeting a girl online, and I'm like, hey, how you going? What, like, right? So I was like, it's for me. This might sound old school or corny, but I'll be like, what things interest you? Because a woman, right?
What's your first DM? He said.
Huh?
Introduce yourself. He wants to know what your introduction is. Your introduction.
Oh. Okay, I'm like, okay, all right. For me, I'm a little old school, right?
It's so easy.
So I'm like, hey, how you doing? I just want to let you know I think you're very beautiful, and I'm interested in getting to know you. That's it. And that leaves room for her to say, hi, how are you?
Okay. Got it.
Right?
Got it. So you're literally verbalizing that interaction with the real world.
Yo, bro, off the rip, I let a girl know if I'm interested in her. I don't play the game. I don't do the running around. I'm like, yo, I think you're pretty. I think you're beautiful. I think you're really cool. What you saying? And if you're not feeling it, I back off. If he's feeling it, then we double back and then we build a conversation from there.
Soon. Hot TV, what's up, yo? What's up?
Yes.
Where's the shot box?
Easier to meet somebody online or in person? Better to meet somebody online or in person?
Me don't know. Me never met nobody
You
online
don't have
yet.
advice for anybody that's single?
I haven't met nobody online yet, Lisa.
What's your instinct?
Every person I met was in person.
Right?
Like I haven't been on the internet looking for people. I've been in a relationship since the internet came out. So I don't know about finding no one on internet or nothing like that. That shit.
No, I know. Kev was like, what dating apps? Me smells like I don't do the dating apps, but
No, never been on
DMs, I don't
that.
have anything wrong with DMs, but not that.
I have nothing against, for those guys that can't go outside and talk to girls. Those guys kill dating apps.
Well, what Kev is saying is that it's hard to transfer his real life swag to online swag.
No, man, there's guys that listen.
I know, that's what I said.
There's guys that have no swag in person, but on the line, fuck.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Because you have to remember,
if you're
because
talking money.
now he can cheat. He can get a book. He can read a poem. He can do so many things. He has so many options. When you're in the face, you gotta be who you are now. You don't have no options. And if you can't pretend or you can't be impressive, you're out.
Now that to me is real G shit. You know what I mean? Like face to face. To me, I think it's kind of a cheat code, easy to do it online.
No, but for the young folk,
Youth them is easy.
like, yo, listen, man.
Bro, they're fishing, bro.
Yeah,
it's
for
their
sure.
back pages.
For sure.
It's literally their back pages.
It's just that you're used to meeting people.
I know a guy that wouldn't be able to stop and talk to a girl anywhere.
Yeah.
But put him on a dating app,
Yeah.
the guy is the king of the app. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a question, Patrick.
Yeah.
So those ones that we're talking about, right? The ones they're socially inept. They don't know how to interact.
Well, not necessarily, because he's social online.
No,
It's just harder for him in
that's
person.
no. This brief, I hate that term.
It's easier to talk to a picture than it is to talk to a real person
Yes, but that
and
doesn't
get emotion and reaction from that person.
There's still some people though that are still insecure socially, inept socially, that can't do it online even. That can't even do it online.
At 2025, I told myself I'm not calling these apps like Facebook, Instagram, social media, because they're not social.
They're anti-social media.
Yeah, right? Because
Find a word on Puffy. Puffy trial. Diddy Trials.
it's hard to do these fireworks now.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Let the man. Let the man say what he wants to say.
Sorry, my bad.
He always comes up with something.
yeah, let me think about that.
Yeah,
Let me think about that, because,
You do good fireworks.
like I said, it's a shame that they're always trying to embarrass our black men. I don't want to say leaders, but guys in high, you know what I mean, public figures.
The lake is like
Yeah.
right behind you. It's actually killing you.
Oh, okay. It's. I'm gonna turn it on.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah, it's sad to see that, because it seems like there's a pattern here. Like, they continually do it. That's why we have to question some of the things that actually took place with Diddy and all these allegations. Not to say that he's not partying and stuff like that, but is he the only one doing this? And where did he get that from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the church is fit.
Right. You know, and it's unfortunate, but like I said, it just seems like there's a pattern. Thank you for watching another episode of Shop Talk. Please remember to press that subscribe button down at the bottom. Peace.
I did it.